Welcome again to Studio 14's Overton County Magazine. I'm your host, Jerry Stovall. Overton County Magazine is a show designed to bring our viewers a look at some of the interesting as well as informative people and events occurring in and around Overton County. Some of our stories are videotaped on location, while still others will be brought to you straight from Studio 14. So why don't we all sit back, relax, and thumb through this week's magazine. In this segment tonight, we have two guests. One of them is slightly unusual. I don't believe we've ever had a guest of this type on the show before, so we'll go take a look at him now. We've got Candy Swann and Jesse. Now, Jesse is a
red-tailed hawk.
Red-tailed hawk, an immature red-tailed hawk, I believe. And Candy is a interpretive specialist out at Stand and Stone Park.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now, what is an interpretive specialist?
Well, an interpretive specialist is the same thing about as a naturalist, and that's someone who interprets the area, interprets the park, and teaches people about the area, about the different features of the park.
Okay, so you make contact with the people as
Mm-hmm.
they come into the park, and I'd say there's a lot of people that have questions on different aspects
everything, yeah.
of wildlife.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and kids and adults alike, I'd
Uh-huh.
say. All right, so you try to answer all their questions. Do you work year-round, or
Yeah,
or
year-round.
do you? All right, now, you've got a fine-looking bird there. How did you come across him?
Well, Jesse, about 8 months ago, was hit by a car near Nashville, and the people that found him, he broke his right wing, and the people that found him decided to keep him for a while and didn't take him to the vet. So his wing healed. Bird wings are hollow, or bird bones are hollow, and they heal real fast. And when they do heal, if they heal wrong, they can't be fixed usually. And what happened to Jesse is the people kept him for about a week before they took him to the vet, and his bones all healed wrong.
All healed wrong. Mm.
So his wings got a kind of a big bow in the back of it, so he can just barely get off the ground.
Okay, so you can't re-break them like you can a
No, they
a
tried that,
person's
and it
bones.
didn't work with him. Sometimes they can re-break them and pin them, but with him it didn't work.
All right, now, in a case like this, what do you have to do then? I mean, normally with a wild animal that can't be restructured, you normally put him to sleep, I
That's
believe.
right. Jesse came from the Cumberland Wildlife Foundation, which is the foundation that's at near Long Hunter State Park that does try to fix broken wings and broken legs and things like that. And the animals that they can't find a place for to be used for educational purposes are put to sleep.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Jesse was in a pen with about 20 more red tails that had either been shot or hit by cars. Jesse was hit by a car. He wasn't shot, but several of the hawks, most of the hawks and the owls that they have are shot.
Okay. Now, no doubt he was down feeding on the highway, I'd say, when he got
Well,
hit.
red tails do hunt along the highway. If you watch them in the wintertime, they'll be on the lines and in the trees real close to the road. And when they're going after a mouse, which is usually what they eat, mice and rabbits and animals, the small rodents like that, they won't stop for a car. They don't really think about the car when they're after food.
Well, now, how'd you actually come by him? I mean, if they're normally put to sleep, you acquired him some way.
Well, they'll keep them at the foundation until they can't keep them anymore, until they get too many. And then they kind of dole out the ones that they can for educational purposes.
For education. Okay, so you use this to teach at the,
right,
at the park.
The only way that you can get a bird is to use for educational purposes, or zoos can get them as a display bird.
Yeah, I'd like to stress at this point, I think we talked about that you can't just go out and catch a red-tailed hawk.
You can't. There are
keep it. It is
real
against
strict
the law.
laws, federal laws and state laws against keeping any raptors or birds of prey, which hawks and owls and eagles are. It's against the law to shoot them or to have dead animals or live animals. And you can't. You have to go through. There are some falconers in Tennessee, several actually, but you have to get a falconer's license. You have to take a test. And the falconers are the birds, are the people with the birds that they use for hunting. So those birds aren't injured. What happens when you take a bird out of the nest is what a lot of people do, and that's how the foundation gets a lot of their birds, is you imprint the bird, and the bird thinks that it's a person instead of a bird. And imprinted birds can never be released because they think they're people. They don't know that they're birds.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, now let's talk a little bit about your program that you have out there at the park. What what do you actually do? I mean, as far as, you know, you have some sort of a program you put on, I'd say.
With Jesse or the whole
Well,
interpretive program?
with Jesse, say.
Well, the program that we have with Jesse is mostly a natural history program about raptors and birds of prey. And birds of prey are birds that prey on other animals. We talk about the lives of the birds and why they're important in the ecosystem and why it's not necessary to shoot them and to trap them. We talk a lot about rehabilitation, which it's very important to get a bird, if you find it, to a vet or to a place like the foundation or to a wildlife officer or to the park where we can get it to someone that can help the bird. It's real important that you do it real fast. It's also real important that you're real careful for your own safety because of the bird uses his feet for protection, and he uses his beak, which is real sharp. Jesse's got about 500 pounds of pressure. He can squeeze 500 pounds in his feet.
Notice you do wear protection on your hand when
yeah, you have to wear real thick gloves. If he were real upset, these gloves would really be nothing. He could go right through them.
Okay, you've had him pretty good while.
Well, no, I've really only had him about 5 weeks.
Okay, but he's still accustomed to you now.
Yeah, he's a real calm bird. He's real gentle and real sweet. He's real easy to work with. He's not aggressive or mean at all, even though he's real active, but he's not real aggressive at all.
All right, the what kind of demonstration would you put on with him out there?
Well, what we've done so far, he's done several programs. He's done real well. We go to schools and go to right now we're only doing school groups, mostly young kids, elementary age. And we'll go to the school and take Jesse and hold him up, you know, and show him to him and explain to him what he can do and how he's adapted to live in the wild and why he's not living in the wild now. And explain all the adaptations that birds of prey have, like the hook beak and the sharp talons and the strong legs and the strong wings. We talked a little bit about bird structure and bird bones because that's real important to a raptor. We talk a lot about why people kill raptors, you know, why the kids think people kill raptors.
Why do they?
Well, it's real weird. Most people say that they kill them because they think they kill their chickens, or they think that they kill their little pigs, or they think that they kill their farm animals, which they don't. Jesse, you know, if there were chickens in a field and he could fly, he would take a chicken now and then, but mostly eats mice. So they kill them for that reason. A lot of times they'll kill them just to be killing them. Kids do, especially.
Just a large bird.
Yeah, they'll just, one man shot an eagle and said he just killed it to see it fall, or just shot it to see it fall. It didn't kill it. They had to amputate its wing, and it can't be released ever. But
well, I've witnessed before. I used to live up on the lake, and I witnessed eagles come down, and of course the coots, the small ducks that are out in the wintertime in abundance. They would keep swooping down until they finally caught one. Of course, they'd always duck under as they came down, but they'd always catch one coming up eventually. And they couldn't actually lift it. They would, what they would do is grab it and just flop across the water until they reached the bank, and then they'd go ahead and eat it right there. As far as, and these ducks are small. There's no way they could carry one, even a large eagle. So a bird like that, which is a great deal smaller, he wouldn't have a chance.
No, he could easily kill a chicken, but there's enough mice and more things that he likes to eat better. His feet are adapted more to eating mice instead of eating chickens. So he'll get a chicken now and then if he can. If they're out, where he can get it, he'll get it if it's easy pickings. But like you said, the coots dive under when the eagle came down to get it. Well, it's hit or miss.
Yeah.
They might go days or weeks without eating because they can't catch anything. And
well, I watched one in particular one time. He He swooped down, I guess it was about 16 times, and never got one. And he had to actually go over and sit in the willow trees before he gathered enough strength to be able to fly off again. It
yeah,
wore
they'll
him out.
try real hard,
It's tremendous.
and you know, if it's a bad winter and there's not a lot of rodents and there's not a lot of other animals that they eat, they may go days without eating. They can go a real long time without eating, so it's not, you know, it's a real hit or miss thing.
Yeah.
They're pretty. They will eat snakes, you know, if they can catch a snake.
I saw
they'll
one
eat
carrying
it.
a snake one
That's
time.
pretty neat, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, if they'll eat poisonous and non-poisonous snakes, but they, you know, need to catch
how they fend off the venom?
Well, they don't. If they were to catch a poisonous snake and they caught the wrong end and the snake bit it, it would die because they're so small.
They just,
you know, Jesse only weighs 2.5 pounds. He looks bigger, but that's all he weighs. He is a male, and a female would be a little bit bigger than he is. The females of the birds of prey are bigger than the males. But, you know, he looks big, but he only weighs 2.5 pounds. So
yeah, he looks heavier than that.
a healthy dose, a full dose of venom would definitely kill him.
All right. Well, now let's talk about your other programs you have out Standing Stone that you're involved in.
Okay, we have a seasonal program that we're about to get started where we have a seasonal naturalist and a seasonal recreator. And the naturalist usually does interpretive programs.
And you
and
say seasonal. You're
that's
talking about just
May
during
through September,
okay.
right. I'm out there all the time, so we have interpretive programs all year, but they're more intense during the summer because there's like 6 interpretive and recreation programs a day. And the interpretive programs range from hiking to caving to canoeing and snorkeling. The recreation programs are softball and snorkeling again. The snorkeling is interpretive and a recreation program.
You say it's interpretive. Now, what do you mean?
Okay, an interpretive program would be where the naturalist or whoever was giving the program would interpret or help the people understand more about the park. With the snorkeling program, it would be understanding lake ecology and what was going on in the lake.
Okay, really an in-depth program.
Most of them are in depth. Most of them are a lot of fun, but they're pretty in depth. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And what other type of programs you have?
We've got a real good kids program going right now. The teachers can set up field trips, and I do programs with anything from flower walks and talk about pollination and plant structure to insects. Cave ecology, we've been doing quite a bit of caving lately with kids. That's a lot of fun.
Do you have caves out there?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, we've got some neat, real small caves on the park, and then some bigger, more deeper caves off the park or real near the park.
I sure did. Well, I thought maybe by now he might eat that mouse.
Well, he's real nervous. I know he's usually a pig. His appetite usually overcomes his fear, though.
How many does he eat a day?
He usually eats, at least 3 days a week, he eats 6 mice.
Okay.
And then we cut it down. That's really, you need to feed him. He needs to keep the same weight all the time. He doesn't need to fluctuate a lot. And you try your hardest. It's real hard because prey is real hard, natural prey is real hard to get, but to feed them a diversity so that they get more of what they would get in the wild. So he gets roadkills too, roadkill rabbits and snakes and chicks and stew meat sometimes, different things. He doesn't get a lot of stew meat in the wild.
Sound like a regular dog there, Jesse.
Yeah, he eats mostly mice because he needs the hair and the bones to, he cleanses his system after they eat. About 12 hours after they eat, hawks and owls can't digest the bones and the hair, so they regurgitate a pellet. And in hawks, the bones and the hair are really more digested, but it still comes out in a pellet about that big. And everything that the bird can't digest comes out in a pellet that size.
Okay. Now, to keep people from thinking that you run around out here and catch these mice for him.
No, we get the mice from a place that raises mice for lab work.
It's just strictly lab mice.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
No, we don't go out. There'd be too many mice, 6 a day.
Okay, is there any other details you can give us about the programs out there at the park that you can think of we haven't covered, or?
Well, there's just about everything that anything that the teachers are studying in school, anything from history of the area, history of the Upper Cumberlands, to any of the natural history having to do with mostly the science, biology, and zoology. We can put together programs for, which we try to do. We want the school program to go along as much with the curriculum as possible, because it helps the teachers out more. And the kids have a good time and they learn a whole lot too. And then the adults seem to learn quite a bit. The teachers are real surprised at what they learn sometimes. But it's a real fun program, and it gives the people at the park that visit the park something to do. We don't just have programs for people that set up programs. We'll have a program for just people, the regular park visitors. So you don't have to call and set up a program. It's better if you have a large group to call and set it up.
Kind of an on-running program all the time then.
Pretty much, especially in the summertime.
All right, now the programs that we have out there, anybody that wants to, say teachers, if they want to take a group out there, all they have to do is, call out to the park?
Just call and set a date for a field trip.
Okay, just anybody in Answers can set that up, or they need to talk to you?
Well, they need to talk to me.
Okay.
Because right now we've got a real busy schedule with field trips. Okay. And
because it's about the time of the year that schools have field trips.
Most of the schools have their field trips in April and May. But there's a whole lot of programs that we can do in the fall and winter too. There's some really good winter programs. Okay. And the kids don't really get to get out that much in the winter, so they don't get to learn very much, it seems like. But we also go around to schools. If they can't come to the park, we can do programs at schools too.
That's good. Is there, now, does he still have his instincts? Can he fly?
Yeah, he's only 2 years old, and he tries to fly every chance he gets. He doesn't, even though he's been in a cage for about almost 9 months now, he still tries to fly whenever, and I don't think they ever don't try to fly off. He can only fly about 20 feet, and that's from going, if he's on a high perch, he can fly to a low perch. From a low perch to a high perch, he has a lot of trouble. It's real sad. I mean, he's 2 years old, and he can live till he's 30, and or sometimes more, and he's never going to be able to fly again. So it's pretty. It really is. Even though he's doing it, he's doing a lot of good teaching people, because when it seems that when people know more about something, they're not so apt to go out and try to kill it or to go out and try to destroy it. And that's the main thing we try to get across to kids. If they know more about birds, or they know more about caves, or if they like it a lot, they won't tear it up.
Yeah.
So, and the kids are better at teaching their parents really than we are. They go home and say, "Dad, you're not going to do this anymore." But it's
he's a fine-looking bird, though.
He is. He's real pretty. He's
just a shame about his wing.
He's starting to molt right now. Red-tails are molting right now, and he's losing some of his smaller feathers. He's not lost any of his flight feathers. He's broken some of his tail feathers off, but he's not molted those yet. And he's molting a little bit on his head, but he'll be real pretty. He should get his adult colors this year, and he'll have the real red tail, and probably a darker head than he has now.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'd like to thank both of you for being up here tonight and enlightening us a little bit about birds of prey, and I wish we could give a demonstration, maybe have him attack Charlie out here behind the camera, but
he doesn't usually. He's more afraid of Charlie than he wouldn't attack him. He might. They
are definitely afraid of man.
They really are. When Jesse gets a little bit more used to people than he is now, he's never been handled except these last 5 weeks. Except when they first got him at the foundation, they'd have to grab him to do medical work on him, but that was all. And he's not panting right now. When he gets nervous, he pants a lot, but he's not panting. I'm real surprised he's not. But when he gets used to people more, he will probably during breeding season not want anyone that he doesn't know in his pen. And or you know, he's not an aggressive bird at all. Some birds, he's got a real good personality. I can't, you know, they just don't attack people.
Yeah, I've never heard of a case.
No, they don't just come down. That's what happens with imprinted birds. That's why you can't let them go, is they will come down to you, not to attack you, but to get food or whatever, companionship or whatever. But wild birds or birds that aren't imprinted, you know, won't attack. If you're around their nests, you know, they'll come down and
that's natural.
Dive at you, but birds just usually don't attack people.
All right. Well, like I say, I appreciate you being up here
Thank
tonight.
you.
And if there's any teachers that want to take their kids on a field trip and go down Standing Stone, they need to contact Candy Swann, Standing Stone Park. And just if anybody wants to go out there, I guess, and just take a chance on finding you.
Yeah, starting in a couple of weeks, we'll have programs every day, starting Memorial Day weekend. But right now, it's just mostly field trips that are being set up.
All right, so any day after Memorial Day, you can probably catch something going on out there, and just go out and take a look at them, see what they've got. I would like to thank everyone for watching tonight. We hope that you have enjoyed our magazine, and be sure and tune us in next time. We would also like to invite you to send us your comments and ideas for future shows. This is Jerry Stovall saying thank you and good night.